Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This one is going to be on the Clash of Champions Modern Era Flash Feud. This is Flash Feud 1. Got up early before work today, 5 a.m., try to get this recorded, so hopefully I can get it posted a good 5 or 6 hours before Feud, so hopefully this is helpful. It should be a fairly... It could be a difficult feud. We'll go with that, depending on your roster and how you set up. Because the minimum is 6, you can expect to see a lot of really big teams with having 6 for a minimum. Ideally I would have just liked to ran the bottom row, but we have to have 6. So I thought about going bigger, and I really don't want to, because I don't want to attract a lot of the top line. And I don't really want to attract this middle row. If you have Keith Lee is going to be really, really gross, and I don't feel like facing that too much. If you're filling the middle row, Ciampa is the tech slot for sure with the 50% silence gem damage. That's a great spot for him. I have Ciampa, but I don't really want to run the middle row. I'd rather run the bottom row. Assuming it works the way I think it is, I'll stay that way, but I could potentially switch up and do the 3 in the middle row and 3 on the bottom. I just don't think I'm going to. So I really think most of this middle row, the only 2 for the bonus to really talk about are Keith Lee and Ciampa. Right off the top, I can't think of anyone else that lane is really going to benefit. Could be wrong. If you can think of anyone else, go ahead and let us know in the comments. So expect to see a lot of the multi-gem macros in the top row. If you have Ricochet, this is a really great row. I don't have Ricochet, but if you do, you can see there's just a ton of potential guys that lane bonus is awesome for. Andrade, Triple H, Masters of the Universe, Jimmy, Ray, Jeff, even if you have Ricochet and Jeff is your next best one, that will help him too. So it's pretty much a multi-gem top row, so have a counter for that in mind. And when I say counter, if you've watched my videos, you know about the multiply gem down coaches. Those are going to be huge, so have one of your guys with those on and a high one, and then go after him with that. I'm thinking I probably am going to use Ciampa for the most part on that row. He's going to be pretty fast, hit pretty hard, and I'll have to use Sacco on him. He's only 35%. If I had Triple H active, he reduces multis a lot more, but I don't have him active, so it's a no-go for me. I don't know where he shows up, but he's not there. Yeah, but anyway, Sacco if you have him, or Triple H if you have him. Good chance you don't, so then it's hard to suggest taking a multiplied or Showboat in against an Acrobat, but Showboat has Kurt Angle and stuff like that. So potentially you could run a striker in this slot where I have Ciampa, or a powerhouse. So if you have Shelton or Z-Rock, you could throw Killian Dane on him and he reduces them huge. Right here. So any powerhouse would be good. Also, you could fill the powerhouse slot. I may potentially do that just because I want to have something to combat those. So Z-Rock might be okay there, but Ciampa's going to dish out a lot of damage quickly for me. So I think having Sacco on him will be fine. But you will want someone to combat those acros in case you run into them. My Z-Kane also can stun turn 1. Dango's turn 1, but again, class disadvantage, so I don't particularly love taking Showboats in against him. but AI plays Ricochet pretty bad, so don't have to worry too much about Ricochet. Plays a lot of that multi-acros bad, so Z-Kane will be a problem, and Dango will be a real problem. This line bonus is amazing for Dango. You'll probably see some Fiend down here too. Fiend is somewhat hard to deal with because of his bleeds and his sub. So really, really great line bonus for Dango. Highly recommend using him. You can get him turn 1, running him this way. Just like this. So you put Woods on him, and the Tornado DDT is turn 1 if you have the MP up perk, which on the left side of my screen you can see I do. These are what I have active for this feud. It's not, turnbuckles are a little more hard to get this time around, so you probably won't see a lot of maxed out feud perks this feud. You might see some people that went, completely max with MP and multiply. If you do that though, there's a good chance you don't have much in the way for gem generation, and that's really going to hurt you. So I think these are really the two important ones for this first feud. Gem generation I don't have maxed. Rank 2 is pretty solid. It gets some nerf in for them. It protects you against them a little bit, so you can probably get away with that. These two perks I have cost about 4.5 million total. The chart on the right side of my screen is courtesy of 2Bob29. He makes this every month. It's a great resource for knowing how much your perks are going to cost and stuff, so you can see how much it costs on level 1, level 2, level 3 in total. Very handy. Each feud perk to unlock is 250k. So again, I think these are the best two to start out with this first feud because they work on everyone. Maybe later you'll get some more. Some people might be doing the multiply if they're investing really heavy in like their top line, and then maybe they go that route. But you do have to watch out for the gem generation perk too. So bottom row, like I said, great row for Dango. Really great. It couldn't be much better. So he's going to be a definite problem. It's okay for any other showboat using a finisher, but there's not a ton of really good modern ones after him and Z-Kane, and Triple H Master of the Universe should be solid. It'd be pretty decent for Bobby Roode if you have a high Roode. And like I said, Fiend is just Fiend, so not necessarily a great line bonus for him, other than it makes the protect gem stronger, but Fiend is just really good. So expect to see those. Try and have a counter or a plan for him. Z-Kane with Boss Plate is not going to be fun for anyone. So you might see a lot of that. This slot where I have Ciampa is wide open, so you could see any modern guy from Z-Rock to Ciampa to Big E to Andrade. Unlikely you'll probably see much Andrade because he'd probably be in the top row. Probably see a lot of Zombie Cena, who's very strong character with a stun if they run him the stun way. His traps can steal purple or they can steal green, so that's just something to be aware of. He can make your day pretty miserable if you go in with the wrong guy against him. So like most feuds, try and use class advantage to your advantage. I do not like the fact that I have 3 showboats down here, but right now Dango is my only 5-star. So I kind of locked into that, and I would probably run this middle line, except this line bonus is so powerful for Dango, and I can get him turn 1. It's going to be a lot of super easy wins with him, so I think that's the smart play for me. Otherwise, honestly, if you're running the middle row, if you don't have a good Dango or a high Dango and you want to run the middle row, the line bonus won't really help it, but like you could run Shelton in here potentially. Here, let's take a look. You could run Shelton, Killian Dane, or Drew, or Z-Rock. Those are all some really good modern powerhouses that have pretty good options. And then your your tech, you know, if you have Black, if you have Kofi, if you have Gargano, all of them would fit in that slot and be really solid. But the line bonus isn't going to help you with those guys, really, so, or at all. It's only going to help Ciampa and Keith Lee, so don't fill it just to fill it unless you have those guys. I think that's mostly about it. Like I said, watch out for the acrobats. Have those multi-down coaches. For striker, it's Mela. So if you're running a striker in one of your slots, throw Mela on there. And just have a plan to counter the acrobats if you run into them. If you're going to go big, it's going to probably be a lot of damage, and you're going to face some huge rosters. Keith Lee is going to be a wrecking ball again, so avoid him. But I think that's mostly the big things. Get your MP up perk. I think that's the most important one. It helps everyone. And then the gem generation is going to help all your guys too. So for the cost, it's pretty good value, I guess. I don't like having to spend on Feud, but there it is. And then do expect to see a boatload of Dango and Z-Kane, who will also be huge problems. Z-Kane because of the stun and the boss plate, and Dango because when he gets this finisher down, it's going to be next to impossible to get out. Like, I'll be dropping 150k finisher with the protect gems are going to be probably like 4 columns at 2.5k, I would say, ish. At that strength, maybe even closer to 3k. So he's going to be impossible to kick out of, pretty much, with the gem defense reduction he has. So definitely watch out for Dango. Your best bet is going to be to counter him with himself, or an acro with the class advantage. Triple H, Masters of the Universe, would be pretty good because he's fast. So those are going to be your best bets there. Other than that, guys, have a good weekend. It's a busy weekend. Oh, I do want to cover too. It does sound like there's going to be a solo competition. And the solo competition looks like it's going to be pretty good and worth doing. Sounds like there's going to be a plate in there, a bunch of Walter shards. So regardless of how you feel about the faction one and how high the top milestone is, still don't know where the other rewards fall. So it's going to be a weekend where you want to feud, because the solo one looks to have a lot of rewards in. So it's not live yet, so it's always subject to change, but that's pretty much about it. Hope you found this helpful. Let me know what you think in the comments, and have a good feud this weekend, guys. Thanks for watching.